Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there, welcome back.
Welcome back, guys. So we were having a discussion yesterday, I think
A
it
couple
was,
days ago,
a
maybe.
couple days ago, and been thinking about this subject because, again, if you're new to the channel, Cindy is quite an interesting channeler. She can trans-channel fully under, and she can also basically converse with beings on different densities, just kind of all the time. And so the concept or the reality of the contract, we are all under contract. Do you realize that? You are under contract.
Well, you think of as above, so below. In every aspect of this 3D world that we have, there's another energetic layer to it. So even the word contract, when you make a contract with someone here in the 3D, there's elements of things you might have to do to fulfill that contract, and it might not always feel good. But sometimes in the end, it's worth it, and it's about growth. So that's how we have to see things as far as contracts go. Is yes, it's in the 3D, but it's in higher realizations as well.
So you are under contract with your higher self.
Yes, I mean here we would call it a soul contract, and it has everything to do with growth. And there might be times in our lives, where we come here and we make a contract with ourselves. Basically, it's big me and little me. Make a contract with yourself saying, okay, I want to accomplish these things. I want growth in these areas. But it's not just you that is creating this contract. There are others involved. So I want to go with mother, father, sister, brother, because that's the most common types of contracts where families come in together, and they might be sisters, they might be brothers, they might change sexes, it might be an uncle and a nephew or something, and they switch around. And the reason I just want to keep it to mother, father, sister, brother, family is because relationships are different. You get into the flames, the twin flame thing, and it can go off in a whole nother tangent. So I want to keep our contracts to the understanding that we do with our cousins, even extended family, come down here to learn something. And it might be friends too, friends that come and go in your life. Sometimes they come for a little while, sometimes they're here for a lifetime, but they all have something to help you with, to help teach you, to help you grow, to help you learn. And sometimes that's just very, very painful. And what I find most commonly is people saying, oh my gosh, I would absolutely never choose this in a million years. This is just ridiculous. I hear that a lot, and I can't blame them, because life is painful. Life is very painful. So you get put in these situations where you're like, oh no, 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 this is not happening, but it's kind of like when you go in labor, that baby's coming, and there's nothing you can do to stop it, because you wanted that baby, but that time of labor is really, really, really difficult. But you are going to get through it, and you will get to the other side. And there is, an element of growth and a prize waiting for you on the other side of that very difficult situation. It doesn't always have to be difficult, but that seems to bring the most growth. And I can use myself as an example. I've had a very complicated and difficult life with partners that were not very nice at times, and I really wanted out of these situations. I wanted out really, really bad, and I would have done anything to just snap my fingers and just poof, be out of those situations. But that wasn't happening. I was stuck for not days, not weeks, not months, but years and years and years of these situations that made my life very difficult and very painful, brought on a lot of stress. And you guys could just imagine, if you've had one bad relationship, let alone go through three really bad relationships, you tend to learn a lot. But the thing is my ability to connect with other people now who have been through similar circumstances is so great that I would never take back 1 second of all the what I deem to be negative things that happened to me, because of all the positivity that it's brought me. So if someone were to tell me, okay, you can just step out of this, but you won't be able to reach and connect with this many people, would you still step out of it? I can honestly look back and say no. But it was really hard. It was hard getting through all those situations. I went through things, and that I didn't realize what had happened to me until years later. It took that long to process, and I still process, but I don't take it back because of those that I've been able to help.
Absolutely. This is something that is very, very common, and just without going into too much detail, um, partner abuse, spousal abuse is a reality. It happens far more often than most people realize. And, Cindy is somebody that has been sent to the hospital or has not gone to the hospital but should have gone to the hospital because of that type of abuse. She's been through it herself. And it is something that you would say on the outset, why in the world would you agree to go through such things? Or
Right.
did I agree to go through such things? Or was it because I maybe made different choices that it happened that way?
Right. And it's not about, oh, poor me, I'm a victim. It's about, wow, I can connect to so many people that have been through this, and that what a blessing that is. So it's about what I've been able to learn, and I want to bring it back to family members because they're in this contract with me. They're the ones who are helping me through it. They're the ones who are supporting me where I allow them to, but ultimately the choice is all mine. Every single step that I take, every person that I talk to, everyone that I allow into my life, there's a purpose for that, and there's a reason for that. And we have to recognize that. And when is it a contract and when is it not a contract? And dare I say, everyone you come into contact with, there is some contract there.
That's a big realization, from abusive partners to best friends. And just to use Cindy as an example, the best friend that she ever had, the person that she loved as much as anybody on the planet, she ended up losing at a young age to the medical system, and decisions that were made that she would not have made now for sure.
No way, absolutely not. I would not have made that, but there was something there in my life contract for me to go through and realize that, okay, part of your job too is to help people walk through the system. And I'm not a doctor, so I can't really say anything, but this is just for entertainment purposes only. But knowing what I know now, when I get close to someone, I do what I can to help them, guide them around the system, and not use everything that the Western medical system tells them to do, because it's not just that time, but since I've been in this, it's been time after time after time. I see people use this medical system and they're not getting any better. They're not getting any better. And with this really horrible experience that happened to me, I use that as a drive to help other people. And I'm sorry, it still gets emotional because it just feels like you would think you would know better. And this is what I mean about about things that you would not choose. So of course I would not choose to have lost my very best friend, but how many people am I able to help and come into contact with and help guide them around the system because of this? So yeah, she was a big part of where I am now.
Absolutely. And I just am realizing too, there's so many people that we come in contact with during our lives. Some have a bigger impact than others, and some relationships feel familiar. And I do think, again, when you get that strange familiar feeling, that is something that's telling you that this is most definitely a key part of your contract.
Oh, it is. It is for sure. And it's recognizing, it's like, what are you going to do with these situations that you've been put in? What are you going to do with the things that you have been through? Is this going to help you grow and expand and reach other people? Is this a thing that helped guide you in a certain direction? it's recognizing all of those things, the twists, the turns in life. And yes, you know, you do run into people and you feel this familiarity about them. And I would say those are probably the deeper contracts. You know, if I could label contracts between a 1 and a 5, and 5 being people you run into that you have bigger contracts with, those people you're going to feel the most for. And those people are the ones who are going to be the bigger guiding forces in your life, for better or for worse, because it's not all about being here on the 3D. It's just about all the growth that you get, because when you're not in the 3D anymore, you take all of this with you, but you leave all the 3D stuff behind. It's really kind of difficult to to explain, but there's a separation between the 3D and the other realms that are higher up, moving up to source. You take all this with you, yet you leave it behind. So it's that multi-dimensionality about the learning and the growth that we get here while we're here.
Two things that I want to bring up, and you have this saying that always has stuck with me: friends are the family that we choose for ourselves. Now, being that we come together with certain families on purpose, and you know, we are choosing to be born into that situation, because again, we choose our parents. Our parents don't choose us. Our parents choose, perhaps, or sometimes there's mistakes or what's deemed a mistake, but there really are no mistakes, and somebody comes into the world. The reality is we choose our parents. I do think, just to get into little details, that there are sometimes situations that arise, medical issues, things that happen that might be accidental, not accidental, and the baby doesn't make it to term. And you know, then there's going to be perhaps a different soul that at the next incarnation, or it could be the same soul waiting for that one particular pair of people to conceive. But again, taking into mind and asking you as a Vedic astrologer, I mean, obviously the timing of jumping into existence, jumping into this 3D reality is critical. Can we also get ideas about our contracts when we look at our Vedic astrology chart?
You know, Saturn is my favorite go-to to find out your contracts, and Saturn has everything to do with your karma, which I think is critical to contracts. It's like, what am I really supposed to be doing here, and where am I supported in my karma? So yeah, looking at your Saturn placement, and you would also look at say four places from itself and 6 places from itself, all defines, and where Saturn is itself, all defines your karma in this world, and what are you really supposed to be doing. And that gives a person an idea. And also the moon, where is your mind? Where is your mind in all of this? Because wherever the moon is placed, that's where your constant thoughts are going to be. So sometimes people might have a moon with Saturn, which is very, very difficult, because the moon wants to be free, the mind wants to be free. But then Saturn comes along and says, oh, no, 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 you are not going to be a free thinker. You are going to, you know, go within these boundaries. And let's say in this life, maybe these boundaries are meant to be broken. Maybe you're supposed to break free from your karmic obligations in this life. And you can see that through a chart, if you're supposed to break free or not. So it's about allowing the mind to be free without having all of these things hampering it. So yeah, there's a lot to be said with Vedic astrology. You also look at the rising sign, you know, and you look at the planets and their sorry, the Rama's howling in the background. You also look at the planets and their degrees, and that tells you if it's a very like baby planet, a toddler planet, if it's a teenage planet, or if it's an elderly planet, and that tells you how strong that planet is, where it's at. So also the degrees in your Saturn and Moon, of course, are very important.
Yeah, this is fascinating stuff. So the realization for so many people right now is, whoa, you know, the world is crazy. I would never choose to be here, is what people are thinking. But the reality is, you know, gotta tell you, you do choose to be here. You really, really do. Again, we've gone over and other videos are thoughts on, that whole reincarnational trap type thing, which really is not a new concept. I mean, that goes back to at least 2,500 years ago, bar minimum.
Yeah.
Again, when you look back to Buddha, he was viewing the world as illusion, of course, and also the great desire is moksha, liberation. Yet at the same time, it's when you look at the details that you start to pick up the nuances of this. The souls that are trapped with that inherent lust, craving, and just burning desire for everything sensual, they're going to keep coming back and doing it over and over and over and over again. The souls that can maintain a little Buddhist indifference, not being pulled into the drama, perhaps will say, I'm done and I'm moving up to 5D, and maybe I'll come and incarnate again, but it won't be here, it'll be somewhere else, or I'll wait for perhaps the Treta Yuga or Satya Yuga, again, silver or gold age, to come back and do it on Earth again, because it's a lot more fun at that point in time. And I've already learned those heavy duty lessons. But then again, many souls, realize that, they want to experience other things. They want to have maybe a little bit more of a scary adventure. It's just like going to the amusement park, and some of us might be adults on the merry-go-round, and other ones are going to be going upside down on the craziest roller coasters you've ever seen. Each soul is unique. Each soul is choosing its own journey. And so, the concept of that reincarnation trap is not one that, David Icke or anybody in today's modern day came up with. It goes back thousands of years, and Buddhism again springs off from Hinduism. And so within Hinduism itself, there are many different branches that view things in a different way. And one of the most fundamental ways of dividing it are whether you're looking at things from a dualistic point of view or not. And at the same time, it is a matter of perspective. Are we looking at it basically from a little bit more inside the matrix or from outside the matrix? Because that perspective changes everything.
I think one thing that's very important is to remind humanity to hold on to their power and to give them the information and the knowledge that is going to help them empower themselves in this life. And the talk about soul traps can be a very sticky one. And I have heard that, like the Galactic Federation said they broke the soul trap machine. I've heard that. and I looked at that and I'm like, the Galactic Federation, they're non-interference. But the good news is we broke the soul trap mechanism. We broke the soul trap karma. So from here out, we are going in a wider spiral to 5D. It's not going to be an easy thing. And the way we're going to find ourselves there is bringing 5D here to Earth and helping to raise that frequency little by little by little. It's all about the choices that you make and the soul contracts that you have and the people that are helping you grow. Are you doing the very best you can in all of your relationships? Are you doing the best you can in your contracts? Are you being as honest as you possibly can with yourself and with other people? Are you lying to yourself, or are you being honest with yourself? And everybody knows that deep within themselves. And usually a lot of people are very much in denial. If you tell them something, it's like, well, this is what I'm picking up in your energy field. They can be very quick about, no, it's not. No, it's not true. And kind of that's where it's like, okay, this person needs to work some there, but I'm not the one to tell them that, because maybe they're not ready. So it's really, you can have people that help point you in that direction. Just never be angry at someone for bringing something up for you, because there's something in your soul contract, you needed it. And like I said, yeah, I've been through some really horrible relationships. But the thing is I wouldn't be sitting here talking to helping other people who have also been through really bad relationships, and I mean really bad, and have had very difficult situations go on in their lives, and I wouldn't be able to be that supportive construct and help walk them through the emotional processing situation. Because if you don't process all of the things that you've been through, the body holds on to it. And you guys, I'm not perfect. I'm still going through some things. I'm still going through releasing. But I don't like to use this term wounded healer, but it serves a purpose. And I'll just sort of say what I think about it. I don't think anyone's wounded, but I like the concept because I'm always going through a little bit of something that continually keeps me climbing up the ladder to find healing. And because I'm constantly climbing that ladder, I'm able to help people and reach people. And then we have Mike, who's such an amazing healer. Oh my gosh, when we work with people, he brings up emotions, he brings up tears, and people, they don't know where it's coming from, but they are being healed. They're releasing a lot of emotions so their physical body can heal. So all of this ties into soul contracts, why we are here. There's so many different reasons. I think it would be very difficult to try to put it on like a some sort of tree to outline it as far as the many different types of soul contracts that we have. It's just those ones that are either the most joyous or the most painful. Those are probably the ones that you came here to focus on, and you can line those up with your chart if you feel you need to. Some people don't need that, but some people do. And it's finding that acceptance within yourself. It's like, okay, I do need this. Don't criticize me because I need this. What I need, you're having your needs met, and that's where we're at.
Absolutely. So on that, I think this is good for this one. We hope you guys got something out of it. We look forward to your comments. We thank you for your support on Patreon. As always, we couldn't do it without you guys. To make an appointment, it's evolutionaryenergyarts@gmail.com. Source bless and namaste.
Namaste.